Hey everybody. If you offend easily, did you know there's this new skin product on the market? Yeah, it's rated SPF grow the hell up, right? Anyway, so I'm kind of rambling today, y'all. I apologize for having so few videos out this week, but y'all, I ain't even gonna try and lie, okay? Perimenopause is kicking my ass pretty hard, and I'm pretty sure I have to make another appointment with my doctor and get more tests done because, damn. I mean, I know I naturally have thorns, but even I'm sitting there going, chill out. Telling my own self to chill the hell out, okay? So, we're doing the best we can. We're doing the best we can. All right. So, I'm kind of going to get into a little bit of nature versus nurture today. Um, and y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all this story, and don't pick on me too much, and you'll find out why. Okay, like I I was a lonely child. I had a very overprotective mother who apparently could see something wasn't quite right with me in the head, so she didn't really let me out very much. Okay, I guess she knew I couldn't handle it. I don't know. Um, so I mean, I had brothers, but they were years older than me. I was the baby of the family. Thought that it worked in my favor, and according to them, it did, but I didn't notice. But I had to make up friends of my own. So I had a whole slew of imaginary friends. Y'all, I color coded them. I color coded them to where whatever the first letter of their color was the first name they had, and there was a girl and there was a boy, and I had like 20 of them. Y'all, I had this so organized. I should have been tested a lot sooner for a lot of things. So I had these color coded, like for example, Morris and Maureen were maroon. Like, I had them organized. And what's even worse, y'all, they hated me and picked on me. My own imaginary friends picked on me. It's yeah, it wasn't uncommon for mom to find me crying in the room because they were picking on me again. I don't know. To this day, I still don't freaking know what the hell was wrong with me. But by the time I actually was really socializing with people, yeah, let's just say I kind of attracted my own expectations, and the people that I tried to interact with weren't necessarily like they were just like my imaginary friends. I don't know. It's what I had taught myself. I mean, I had been picked on a bit by my own brothers, there were a couple of few friends. Like, my mom would make a friend, and I'd have to play nice with their daughter like that. I have this whole title, um, name calling, real name, last name. And I'm not going to do it because I don't want to call this person out on camera, but there was a girl growing up that this day, I can't just say her name. I have to say that be ba ba ba. My husband knows who I'm talking about. St. Allen has heard me to this day still gripe about this girl. And this girl stole my Little Pony. Like, okay, I get that this is like total petty, okay? Years later, this should not still. But let me tell y'all about this childhood friend I had. Like, ain't no wonder I attracted frenemies. Who's like y'all heard the story of Amy. Her and I stole each other's wardrobe, stole each other's men. Like, this was my childhood friend. She stole My Little Pony. And yeah, I'm still bitter about this because I had just gotten them for Christmas. They still had all the curl in their hair. And if you were a child of that era, you understood that a brand new doll or Barbie or My Little Pony had the curls already in there. And you only had so much time before time and heat and life would make these curls fall out. And if you were like me, who had an overprotective mother who didn't let me do a lot of things, I didn't know how to put those curls back in. So having them while the curls were there was important to me. But nope, that bee stole My Little Ponies. I don't remember if I've already gotten into. I don't think I have. Y'all, this might be a long video. So this is a convoluted story about the My Little Pony. So it starts one Super Bowl Sunday where me, my cousin Jared, my cousin Corey, my cousin Jason, we were all about the same age. We were all at one of my aunt's house. Remember, my mom there were 8 of them, 7 girls and a boy. Okay. So had a lot of cousins, and apparently everybody liked to screw around the same time because we all had an older sibling that were all around the same age who harassed us. I was the one who had 2 older siblings, so I was double screwed, okay? So there was it was an empty property next door. There was I don't think it was empty. I think someone was there, but there was a lot of abandoned crap in the yard that nobody ever messed with. So us being, oh God, I don't remember how old we were. I just remember we should have known better, but young enough we didn't. And we were actually allowed without supervision to roam in place. So we went next door and we each had toy guns, and we were kind of chipping. You had the back glass of one of the vehicles that kind of had crystallized. I don't know what it's called, but instead of forming sharp, things of glass, it had like these little crystals that would form. And we were kind of chipping it away with the gun. Little piece, because we all had toy guns. Okay. Well, I grabbed, in all of my wisdom, the toy rifle. And in all of my wisdom, I went tap, tap at the top of the window instead of where they were chipping along the bottom. And when I did, the whole thing went crash. I promise this is getting back to the My Little Ponies. I swear. Okay? So we freak out. Of course, we're going to be in trouble. Lo and behold, somebody that was there comes out and yells at us to get the hell out of his yard. I'm like, no problem. We all run. In all of our young stupidity, we make the mistake of telling our older siblings what happened. Y'all already can see where this is going. Of course, our older siblings blackmailed us. They had good little servants the rest of the however long, because this wasn't just one day. So, months later, whenever my family would move, I didn't find out this was Mom's pattern, because I had never noticed it, but according to her, she always made it a point to set up the bookshelves as fast as possible so we would know we were home. I'm like, really? I never noticed that. But she was setting up the bookshelves. Now looking back on it, I'm like, oh, some of the boxes of books had went in my room. Y'all, I can tell y'all this happened when I was young because I had my first kidney stone in that house. So I was about 7, 8 years old. Wow, I was young for that. Okay, so, wow. So, a couple of boxes of books wound up in my room, and me and my nosy went looking through them. These were not my shelf of books. These were Mom and Dad's shelf of books. So I got a chance to go through books I wasn't supposed to. Y'all, I found a magazine or two. That was my mother's, not my father's. My mother's magazines. Oh wow. Huh. This is interesting. I don't quite know what's going on here. My mom had only just had a small talk with me. Kind of prep work. She went in small increments throughout the years. And she had only had a small talk with me. So I kind of knew something, but not a lot. I knew what I was looking at, but I didn't understand what I was looking at. Okay. But it was enough that I'm like, I got to show my friend. And that was my next mistake. Because of course I showed my friend, who was just like, oh, because her mom had also just had an increment of the talk with her. Just an increment. Basically based upon what kind of questions we were asking. As a gauge of where we were and what needed to be told to us. My mom, I might be mad at her for a lot of things, but I feel like she did that crap right. Okay? So, anyway, we are looking at these magazines, and in order to not get caught, they get shoved under my mattress. Nobody notices this for months. So as I'm upset about the missing My Little Ponies a few months later, I promise this all ties in. We're almost there, folks. So my mom decides, like, no, there's no way you're missing them. I just bought them for you. Christmas ain't even really, it was not that long ago. She starts tearing up my room. At the same time, some of my headbands were missing. So mom gets the bright idea to look for the headbands. And lo and behold, as she's tearing up my room, she lifts up my mattress and finds the magazines and starts flipping out in typical my mother fashion. My brothers decided this was a great time to let them know what happened with the car window on Super Bowl Sunday. Because I had great brothers. So my mom starts making phone calls to all of my aunts to tell them what we did. Y'all, we all got in trouble except Cousin Jason. Apparently, his sister was blackmailing him into making A's to the point where he was having panic attacks. So his mom, not one of the aunts, that was Uncle David's wife, she decides he suffered enough. We, the cousins who had our asses beat, did not agree with this. I'm to understand that that was taken care of. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I was promised. Because I didn't see them often enough to actually. But I was promised that we were all treated in kind. My other cousins got a hold of him, from what I'm to understand. Made sure we were all punished equal. But because we all got freaking blackmailed. All of us were getting blackmailed. Not just him. Oh my God. Anyway. So that was my Little Ponies. So we got the My Little Ponies back, along with the headbands, because lo and behold, she had stolen them. And when asked, because she had the exact same ones, why did she steal mine? It was because hers didn't have the curl anymore. And she wanted ones with curls. So by the time I got mine back, there was no more curl in my Little Ponies hair. So y'all, I understand that I am a much, much, much older woman. Okay, much, much older woman. Not much, much, much. I'm old enough that I should have been multiple times gotten over this, but some things in your childhood just stick. And my Little Ponies not having their curl because of that, that B, okay, stole my Little Ponies. This girl, I hated this girl. I swear to God. Her mom took me on a trip with them to see her family out in Mississippi. I had a beautiful nightgown. It was baby pink, soft to the touch, hadn't gotten any pilling on it yet, okay? Had the little lace, floor length, right? She made me give it to her to wear. And after a night of this, I went complain to her mom. Y'all, I got picked on a lot as a kid, so I didn't fight back a lot as a kid. Not because I couldn't. I mean, I had brothers. I knew how to fight back. But because I would get in trouble if I did. So the only option I had was to sit there and take this crap in order to not get in trouble with mom. Like, I couldn't even defend myself. So I went and I told her mom the second day. And her mom made her give it back to me. And I remember she was made to wear her own pajamas. I remember the next morning she wakes up, looks at me and goes, I'm not wearing this again. Referring to her own pajamas. And I'm like, you're not getting mine. Like, this girl was so mean to me. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm going on my time. Let's hurry up and get to some reading today. Y'all, if y'all have ever had that friend in childhood, okay, like, tell me about it. Sure. Leave some nice comments and remember that St. Alan's the one filtering them. Okay? Nice comments. Tell me about that person in your childhood. The one that just, And here I thought I was going to get into some nature versus nurture. It's more like the nature of I had to put up with it. We'll get more into those subjects another day, but apparently the ramble went that way. And that B, you know who you are. You know what you did. And yeah, after all this time, I haven't forgotten you. You owe me some My Little Ponies with the curls in them. Anyway, so let's get a reading. Two of Cups, the marriage card, the loving union, two people coming together and finding the connection of souls. Yeah, it needs to be that day today. Kind of had a rough day yesterday, and poor St. Alan had to put up with me. Y'all, the man is a saint. There's a reason I call him St. Alan. He puts up with so much out of me, and perimenopause is not nice to him. Ooh, when I get that hot flash, when I get that mood, when it all hits, oh, y'all, it's not pretty. That man puts up with a lot. Six of Cups in reverse. So that which you thought you have stored, that which you thought you have had, okay, if this was right side up, it would be like memories, the memories of your past emotions set up like trophies. Okay, so it's like either you haven't had enough of your trophies, or maybe you're looking at things with too much prize and not enough genuine connection. And I think that we may be onto something there. All right, Five of Pentacles, mourning of a loss, the inability to see the silver cloud, the spirit of the animal is in the Pentacles. That which you have put your heart and soul into does not actually leave. Just a reminder for all of you who are worried, because apparently this is a relationship reading for y'all, cold reading wise. For me, I'm taking my own messages. Ooh, great change. The end of one cycle and the beginning of a new. We're looking at it's time for some things to come to an end. But remember, death is not actually the end. For those of y'all who are freaking out, this could also be, if you're looking at time frame, this could also be a reference to winter. Okay, it could be a reference to actual death. It could be simply a reference to, yo, something's ending. A job, a relationship, something's ending. The Tower. Apparently it's going catastrophically too. The thing I like about the Tower, and I think I've mentioned this before, it reminds me a lot of getting rid of casinos here in Las Vegas and building up new ones. You have to implode the old casino in order to rebuild a new. All right. And yes, it's catastrophic, but one of the things I like about the cat people is that it makes it nice by saying there's a force field around the man and the woman, making sure they don't, man, woman, and cat, making sure they don't die when they hit the ground. So that's good. We're not going all gory about this. I appreciate that. Last card, and then we're going to let you out of here because I'm running a little late today. Five of Swords, your work is finished. Things need to go. Swords need to go into the ground. People need to accept the end result of it. All right, folks. I've kept y'all long enough. Y'all have a good day. Bye, y'all.